Ohio University Bobcat basketball is about raising trophies and banners and dancing in March. The Bobcats have won 9 Mid-American Conference regular season titles, 6 MAC tournament titles. They've gone on to dance in 13 NCAA tournaments. 3 times they've moved on to the Sweet 16 and once to the Elite 8. Arguably, you could say that the Bobcat program is the premier program in the Mid-American Conference. Hopes are high, and they are again this season. Welcome to Athens. I'm Russ Eisenstein, voice of the Ohio Bobcats. Welcome to the preview of Bobcat basketball 2012-2013. The success of now combines with history here. Names like Gentleman Jim Snyder, Danny Nee, and John Gross can now be mentioned in the same breath. The same with players like Walt Luckett, Dave Jamerson, Gary Trent, Armand Bassett, DJ Cooper, and Walt Offit. The success of before blends with the success of now for future success. Expectations are most certainly high here because history demands that they be high. Ohio raced to the Sweet 16 last year after winning another Mid-American Conference tournament title. There's a new head coach here who knows how to win in the MAC. Coming up, we'll visit with Jim Christian. We'll spin it with DJ and have words with Walt. Plus, we'll tell you how to be a part of Convo Magic, and we'll break down the schedule on the preseason poll for this year. But before we do all that, let's look back to 2011 and 2012. The Bobcats galloped to the Gateway City. It was sweet in the 16 in St. Louis, Missouri. Let's take a look at the March of the Cats. Ohio went 29-8, 11-5 in the MAC, and a school record 16-1 in the Convocation Center. The winningest season in school history began with the best start in school history. For the second time ever, the Bobcats went 12-1 in the first 13 games. The Cats opened it up on November the 13th with a 9-point win over UT Martin. After outlasting Lamar in overtime and beating Arkansas State, it was off to Louisville to play the number 7 Cardinals the day after Thanksgiving. Late in the game, Ohio was up, but the Cards came back to win 59-54. It was a loss, but it showed the Cats could play with the big boys. 9 straight wins followed, highlighted by a 17-point start-to-finish domination of Northern Iowa in Cedar Falls. Ohio did drop 3 of the next 4, including the first 2 MAC games at Bowling Green and Akron. But that refocused the Cats for a 6-game winning streak. Ohio clobbered Kent State and won in front of a sold-out Convo on Gary Trent Day versus Miami. 4 more wins came over the MAC West. Then it was on the road for 2 at Toledo and Eastern Michigan. Ohio lost both games, but again, that could have been a blessing in disguise. After that, Ohio won by 13 over Bowling Green, by 19 in the bracket buster over UNC Asheville, by 11 at Buffalo, and in the Convo finale, by 24 over Akron. Following a 7-point loss at Kent State, Ohio finished the regular season by sweeping Miami. The Cats won 63-54 in Oxford. MAC tournament play in Cleveland started with a rematch with Toledo. The Cats controlled the Rockets in half 2 and won 65-57. In the semifinals, Ohio built a big first-half lead and held on to sweep Buffalo with a 77-74 victory. On championship night, it was Akron again, and the Cats won again. Title night Saturday night led to Selection Sunday. In Nashville against Michigan, Ohio was the better team, and it showed. Dance Game 2 was against South Florida. Slower pace didn't matter. The Bobcats made big plays and danced on. Against North Carolina in St. Louis, the Cats played one of the tougher and gutsier games in recent tournament history. It was a loss. The season ended, but they made Bobcats everywhere proud. What a season it was. Now to 2012-2013. The Bobcats have faith in Christian. We'll visit with the new head coach, Jim Christian, next. This is Bobcat basketball. During Jim Christian's 6 seasons at Kent State, he went to the postseason 5 times, 3 to the NIT and 2 to the NCAA tournament. Last year at TCU, he guided the Horned Frogs to 18 wins and a trip to the postseason. He's Ohio's head coach now, and he joins us now. Jim Christian, we talked when you were hired about all the reasons why Ohio would be interested in you and you would be interested in Ohio. In your words now, as you about get set for the season to start, why Ohio?
I just think it's the right fit for me, and it was. I think Jim Schaus and Dr. McDavis thought I was the right fit at the right time for them. So, and I think I couldn't be happier. I think everything that I really envisioned has come true here. My family is unbelievably happy in this community. I've really enjoyed getting to know and coaching this group of guys. It's kind of a unique group because we have so many upperclassmen, 9 juniors and seniors. So the approach, it's a very mature group, and it's just been. Each day has been fun to coach them.
It's rare to have a transition where you have so much to work with. A lot of times when a program has a great deal of success and there's a coaching change, there might not be that much coming back. Here, you have your coaching expertise and so much to build on. What are the challenges and what are the opportunities when it comes to that regard?
Well, the challenge is anytime you have that type of year, each player has to embrace their role and understand exactly what led to it. Every role is so valuable, and guys have to stay within those roles. And so, you're juggling that. I mean, it'd be naive of any coach to think that players don't have individual goals, but they just can't place them above the team, and that's always going to be a challenge. So, the other challenge is to understand how hard it is to repeat something like that, how tough it's going to be day in and day out, how you have to get past little things because that's what made you get to be in that position that you're in. So, but the one thing that this group has done is that because of their mature mentality, I think they get it. I think that they don't think anything's going to be given to them. I don't think they think anything's been handed. They really appreciate the fact that they worked hard to deserve what they got, and now they're prepared to defend it.
I found it interesting in your introductory press conference. You don't hear this type of honesty from a head coach often. You said that you know what it takes to win a regular season title and win a conference tournament title, but you're going to rely on the players that are coming back that had that success in the postseason. So that means that you're going to be learning from them as much as they're learning from you, and that's not something that you hear often.
I think you have to. Again, I think if I'm a head basketball coach and I'm dealing with young people, why would I not want to hear what they're thinking? Because that's really what happens. I think sometimes in coaching you get this is how we have to do it, this is how we have to do it. It has to be explained to them. They have to understand why we're doing it. It has to be everybody understanding how important it is, and that's who we are. And that's why when we practice, we'll put 17 on the board. We have to make 17 identity plays a day. This is what our identity is. This is what we've decided, the standard that we're going to have on how we play, and we have to achieve it every single day. And that's how it starts, and that's what we're about.
Let's break it down from both sides of the ball here as far as in your words. In your words, what does your offense look like?
I mean, again, it's really early in the year. I mean, so I think
or ideally, what you would like to see from your offense?
Well, again, I think you have to try to get in a competitive league with good teams and the schedule that we're playing. You have to find ways to create easy baskets, whether they come off defense, whether they come in transition. We're just flowing into something and letting the players take advantage of the abilities that they have. And then you have to have a pretty fine-tuned execution, half-court offense that gets guys the ball where they can play and understands what the strengths and non-strengths of the players are, and you put them in those positions. It really doesn't change. I've been doing this 10 years. I've never run the same stuff or same sets each year because the talent and the abilities of the players change. So that's the goal of the team, is we're trying to put our players in the best positions they can score where they're comfortable making good decisions, and then we can play freely and be hard to guard, because I think you evaluate offense by each possession. On that possession, were they hard to guard or were we easy to guard? Are we getting them to guard something, or are we just making first available plays? And I think it's taken us some time, but we've really started to figure that out.
Flip side, defensively, what do you hope to see?
I think it's going to be, the philosophies that I've had and believe in are pretty much the same that they've had here. We haven't changed much defensively except for the terminology. I might call it something different than John called it, but the actual movement is the same. Mm-hmm. How we're guarding a particular screen or action is going to be the same majority of the time. It just might be used, terminology might be a little different, and that's been the adjustment. I'll say something, and this is what we're going to call it. And they'll say, oh yeah, we had that, but we called it this. And sometimes I'll say, okay, if that's what you understand, we'll call it that. But the philosophy has not changed. I mean, I think this team has won with defense. They've won with their ability to guard and at the same time turn some people over. And their toughness at key stretches of the games is what's made them win. And we're not going away from that.
Some coaches want to tune out the expectations. Other coaches use that as motivation. A lot of expectations for your ball club this year is always here at Ohio. Mm-hmm. Where are you in that?
I think you understand them, but I probably would err more side of tuning them out, because it doesn't mean anything until you actually produce something. Expectations are a bunch of people who think this should happen, but really don't understand how difficult it is. And as long as our players understand that, hey, if we stay in tight little compartments and get better, then we have a good chance of succeeding, because what will end up happening is when you've been in positions before and you've had success, you revert back to them. But you got to put yourself in those positions by working every day. It doesn't make a difference if you don't work every day. It doesn't come easily. You're not just handed. Nobody's going to just roll over and give you wins. You got to go get them.
Well, hopefully there's a lot of wins that you go get. Thanks for the visit. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
That's Jim Christian, the head coach of Ohio basketball. We'll break down the schedule and tell you how you could be a part of Convo Magic next. This is Bobcat Basketball. A schedule is like a map to a season. You find out who you're playing, when, and where. The desired structure of a basketball schedule is taking on teams that you're sure that you can beat, teams that will challenge you, and then teams that you can get some national attention from if you beat them. Ohio's schedule is something like that. This year, it's a 31-game regular season slate. Ohio will play 18 at home, 13 on the road, 16 conference games, 15 non-league games. Let's take a look at the marquee non-conference games to start. The Bobcats play 3 teams from the Atlantic 10, a league that could have its best season in recent memory. November the 24th, the Richmond Spiders come to the Convo. They went to the NCAA tournament in 2010 and 2011. We saw them in Providence. They'll bring experience with them in the backcourt. November the 28th, St. Bonaventure comes to Athens. Last year, the Bonnies danced for the first time since 2000 after winning the A-10 tournament. The biggest test of them all, December the 5th at Memphis. The Tigers are ranked 17th in the AP preseason poll. They're picked to win Conference USA again and expected to go deep in the NCAA tournament. Last year, Ohio pushed Louisville in Kentucky. The Cards went to the Final Four. December the 19th at UMass. It's the third of 3 against the A-10. The Minutemen are back. They won 25 games last year and went to the NIT semis at Madison Square Garden. They could dance for the first time since 1998 this year. On December the 29th, Ohio hopes to be okay at Oklahoma. Wins against the Big 12 carry weight, and Lon Kruger has the Sooners pointed in the right direction. Finally, on January the 5th, the rivalry continues with Marshall in Athens. Ohio's won the last 2 in the series. The Herds picked second in Conference USA behind Memphis. In MAC play, Ohio fans always want to know when the Cats clash with Akron, Kent State, and Miami. The Bobcats visit each of the 3 first. Then home games against the 3 make up part of the final 6 of the regular season. And of course, it all gets started on Saturday, November the 10th at 2 o'clock against Portland. It's a Sweet 16 celebration. The banner will be unfurled. A sellout is expected. Ticket discounts are available. And speaking of tickets, as you would expect, they're going quickly. Season ticket sales are high at record numbers. Ohio's ticket department is 90% higher as far as selling than where they were at this time last year. 2 of the premier seating location areas are sold out, but family packages are still available. 4 tickets for $109. That's less than $2 per ticket per game this year. And you'll want to get in early to try to upgrade for next season. Season tickets are always a great value. If you can't make it to the Convo or on the road this season, Rob Cornelius and I have you covered on the Ohio IMG Sports Network. Our radio network stretches across Ohio and West Virginia, and we have stations in Columbus and Athens, of course. Our flagship station is in Athens, Power 105, and we're on to the capital city on WYTS. Plus, we continue our partnership with WOUB to increase our coverage area. If you can't listen on the radio, you can always listen online or on your phone at OhioBobcats.com. And just like the past couple of years, all games will be web streamed here from the Convocation Center this year. All home games via Bobcat TV. Evan Shaw and the rest of his crew will be available online for free, matched up with our radio network call. When talking about the best players in the Mid-American Conference, you have to include DJ Cooper and Walt Offit in that conversation. And when you talk about the best players in Bobcat basketball history, you have to include DJ Cooper and Walt Offit. The 2 All-MAC performers, seniors, and leaders of Bobcat basketball join us now. Guys, let's talk about last year before we move forward to this season. Put everything into words if you could. The experience, the run to the MAC title, and then the run to the Sweet 16.
It was a great run. I mean, we're going to remember that for the rest of our lives. We stuck together all year. You know, we just played as a team. And, you know, we had fun doing it.
Obviously, it was a great experience that we had. Obviously, it's probably the best experience I had. DJ had the first experience with being Georgetown and that great team as well. But I think, you know, going to the Sweet 16 for me and enjoying moments with my teammates and the MAC tournament title, it was obviously something I'm going to remember forever.
And I would imagine all of that success and all the success that Bobcat basketball has had in recent years, that just fires you up for even more for this season, doesn't it?
Yeah, we real hungry. You know, we've been keeping that in the back of our mind. We know teams gonna come out, you know, and give us their best shot all year. You know, we've been working hard, you know, even harder to, you know, just to get back where we went last year, you know, even further.
Yeah, just that the target that's going to be on our back every night. You know, we have everybody back, and we have Coach Christian back, so I'm pretty sure all the coaches are familiar with him and know that he's ran the MAC for a number of years. So I think with the experience that we both bring back as far as our players and the coaching experience that Coach Christian brings to the MAC is obviously a very deadly weapon that we can you know, show the MAC as long as we take care of business each and every night.
Yeah, it was a tremendous hire, no question about it. How's the transition been in the locker room and on the court?
It's been good. You know, we've been able to get to know Coach. You know, Coach being able to get to know us. He's our leader. You know, we trust him. You know, he has a background of, you know, being successful in the MAC, and you know, we're just looking forward to it. Get on the court together.
Yeah. And I would imagine, too, that it's been pretty seamless considering the leadership that you guys bring to the table. And that's been incredibly important, too, knowing that everybody is back. It's not a normal situation when a new head coach comes in and takes on all of this talent. But you guys have been very important in making sure it has been seamless, right, Walt?
Yeah, we're trying our best. I mean, just his personality, I think, has really helped us adjust. He's kind of like Gross in a way that we were able to talk to him more. Mm-hmm. You know, when he first got here, I didn't know how well I was going to connect with him, but it's been well. We've been able to communicate with him well, and I think it's going to continue to move that way.
I think your individual talents would play well for any coach that's coaching you guys. And when we talk about Walt Offit, we talk about toughness on the offensive and defensive end. That's really what you're all about, right, Walt?
Yeah, that's why I try to be. You know, my teammates, you know, they give me the ability to lead the team, and DJ is a point guard and obviously a leader in our team as well. So we try to, you know, mesh the both, you know, kind of. And last year, you know, we made it work, and hopefully we can, you know, with everybody coming back and the leadership abilities that we bring, and obviously the bench, everybody's a team total. As long as we can do that, we'll be fine.
Yeah, and you, DJ, it's been fun to see you from a freshman now to your senior year. How have you been able to be so consistent with points, with assists, with steals? You've really turned into a complete player. Talk about your development in your time here in Athens.
First, I just got to, you know, credit my teammates, you know, for allowing them to trust me. You know, they always knocking down shots for me, and you know, and me just being able to score. You know, I just, you know, sometimes I don't want to score, but you know, I have to, you know, just because make the defense stay honest. And you know, I mean, it's just about, you know, I always had a feel for the game, you know, since I've been younger. And, you know, I just try to, you know, mesh that, like Walt said, you know, with some of the things that they do well. I just try to, you know, exploit it a little bit better. Yeah.
Expectations for this year's guys? What are you looking at to get accomplished in your final season in Athens?
MAC, you know, MAC regular season, you know, title, tournament runs, you know, we got a lot of, you know, big dreams this year. And, you know, it's no secret. You know, it's our last year. We got a lot of expectations, high expectations. I know me and Walt do. So, you know, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, big dreams, Walt?
Yeah, a lot of expectations this year. Obviously, the bar has, you know, risen a lot. You know, with obviously the run that we had last year and obviously the MAC tournament title. But I think, you know, I'm going to lead on leadership from guys like Reg and Evo and DJ from this one because, you know, coming into last year, I was new. No one quite knew about me. So I think I used that to kind of, you know, I got open looks. A lot of people left me open, got to the basket. But now that everybody knows, you know, what I have, what I can bring to the table, you know, I have to kind of continue to play my game and continue to improve. And, you know, DJ, this is obviously his fourth year. That's obviously my second year going into the program. So, and obviously Reg and Evo, they've been there, done that. So I'm kind of be leading on them a little bit, but I'm pretty sure that my experience will be fine. And with leadership from Coach Christian and some of the guys, that will be fine.
Big things are expected. Guys, thanks for the visit.
Thank you.
Coming up, we'll unveil the preseason poll in the Mid-American Conference, and we'll show you highlights of Ohio's exhibition win over Mercyhurst. This is Bobcat basketball. It's time to unveil the Mid-American Conference's preseason poll, and as expected, Ohio is on top and is expected to win the conference tournament title again. In the East, it's Ohio, Akron, and Kent State up top. Buffalo, Bowling Green, and Miami make up the lower three in the MAC East. On the flip side, the MAC West, it's Toledo up top, but they can't qualify for the MAC tournament. Eastern Michigan is picked to defend their co-MAC West title. They're picked second in the West. Western Michigan, Ball State, Northern Illinois, and Central Michigan round out the MAC West preseason poll. And as you would expect, the Bobcats are represented on the All-MAC East team with DJ Cooper and Walt Offit, Austin Calhoun from Bowling Green, Zeke Marshall from Akron, and Javon McCray from Buffalo round out that 5-player team. Ohio took on Mercyhurst in the exhibition ball game at the Convocation Center this past Saturday. It was a win for Ohio, the first of hopefully many inside the Convocation Center this year. Let's take a look at the highlights. In front of close to 5,000 at the Convocation Center, Ohio dominated Mercyhurst 82-42. Nick Kellogg had 19, Walt Offit had 10, DJ Cooper chipped in 7 points, 9 assists, and 4 steals. Ohio was up at halftime 40-17. The Cats shot 50% while holding Mercyhurst to 27% shooting. It was a dominant 40-point win, Ohio's exhibition. Much is expected from Bobcat basketball this season. It should be a fun ride. Maybe another MAC tournament title, maybe another trip to the NCAA tournament, maybe a MAC regular season title too. Should be a lot of fun, following the green and white all season long. For the entire Bobcat TV crew, led by Evan Shaw, I'm Russ Eisenstein. Thanks for joining us. This is Bobcat Basketball.